In a very profound way, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a trailblazer and a warrior. Let's talk now some more about her impact with the president of the Constitutional Accountability Center, Elizabeth Wydra, and president of the Judicial Crisis Network, Carrie Severino. Great to have both of you with us tonight. Thank you for your time.
Good to be here.
Thanks for having us.
Carrie, I want to start with you. You clerked over at the court. Your impressions of the personal side of Justice Ginsburg?
Yeah, so I had the pleasure of it. A lot of the clerks will try to go out to lunch with different justices when they're there. And instead of going out to lunch with us, Justice Ginsburg actually invited us to her chambers. Her husband, made famous cook, Marty Ginsburg, and he made a banana cake. Yes, so it was really just lovely getting to sit and chat over tea and cake in her chambers. So it really, such a small woman, and I we're about the same size, but such a powerful force on the court. And even she had her halting way of speaking, and yet so powerful. And of course everyone loves her model of the reaching across the aisle as it is. There's no aisle in the Supreme Court, but her relationship with Justice Scalia and really with all her colleagues that transcended the very strong and deeply felt ideological and jurisprudential differences, but that they were able to see each other as real human beings. And I think that's something we all really can appreciate and learn from.
Yeah, and Elizabeth, you spent time with her too, and she really has served as such a role model for young women going into the legal profession, because really there weren't a lot of people that laid a trail before her. She did a lot of the trailblazing.
Absolutely. I think about how she was a hero of mine as a young woman before I went to law school. And, the work she did before she was a justice, when she was a lawyer for the ACLU, fighting for gender equality, fighting for the idea that the Equal Protection Clause means that women are equal citizens in just as much every way as men. And then, of course, when she got on the Supreme Court, the way that she used her voice and her position on the bench to ensure that the promises of the Constitution were a reality for all, for women, for men. And, I think in her personal life, you look at the struggles she went through as a mother of young children when she was in law school, and then as a mother of a young child when she was in law school, and then trying to make her career, and the support she had from her husband. And she really was a supporter of working moms and working dads, and the idea that our gender does not define our possibilities, our dreams in life, that we all can dream equally. And she was just a really impressive role model. And I think the crowds you're seeing out at the Supreme Court reflect the fact that the nation saw that in her. And from the memes, you think like a woman in her 70s and 80s is perhaps an unlikely icon to young folks, but she was. And I am just so honored that I got to meet her in legal events, at the Shakespeare Theater, at a wonderful event we did at Georgetown with her, talking about her legacy of gender equality in the 14th Amendment just last year. And we were fortunate as a country to have her, and for the many who are fortunate personally to have her in their lives, I'm holding them in my heart tonight.
Yeah, and she was known a lot for some of her really fiery dissents, and we've talked about this a little bit, that when the justices hand their opinions out and they are coming out from the bench, they'll read, the majority opinion writer will read a little bit of what they've written, usually not the whole opinion, but summarize it. It's not every day that you have the dissent read, but if one of the dissenting justices feels strongly, they will read that dissent from the bench. And I can remember the days that she did that, and how she wanted to make sure that she got her words in. And this is part of what she said about dissents in a 2002 interview. She said, dissents speak to a future age. It's not simply to say, my colleagues are wrong and I would do it this way, but the greatest dissents do become court opinions, and gradually over time, their views become the dominant view. So that's the dissenters' hope, that they're writing not for today, but for tomorrow. And that was often the case in her legacy and what she was pushing toward for the future. Elizabeth and Carrie, thank you both for joining us on this very important night in our nation's history.
Thank you.
Thank you.